First of all, my name is Juliana Ramírez. Really pleasure to have you here. Thanks for take the time to be with us. Thanks for to be interested in this opportunity area that it means the development cooperation framework and the opportunities that you can approach by this sector that is rising in time. So thanks for being with us. We'll start. So let's go. Okay, first of all, I wanna thank WAITRO for the space. I wanna thank because this area of development cooperation is totally aligned. We think that is totally aligned with the mission of WAITRO in terms of being an opportunity for collaboration in a world that it's all the time more and more globalized, and that has complex challenge to afford. So thanks for being with us. I want to thank Paul Borrow as well, the General Secretary, for let us have this space to let you know about our experience and make like this awareness about the development cooperation in the like an opportunity, like an strategic area for all of us. I want to thanks as well to the communication team, because these kind of events that are remotely, they have really like essential and strong effort in everything related with communications, everything related with diffusion, and everything related with communicate the importance of the space. First of all, second of all that, and to the Leitat, the organization that I'm representing, because our communication team was aligned as well with this important effort in terms of communication and diffusion of our space now here. So thanks for that. It's important to say as well that all the development cooperation opportunities are strongly aligned with the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So that's one of things that make it like really align with WAITRO mission. So it's important to be aware of that and take advantage of that. Another thing important is to say what we want to get in this workshop, because what we really want is to be aware of these kind of opportunities that we have, like a global network, like a global platform, in order to get to opportunities in terms opportunities related with the triple impact: social, economic, and environmental, that are strongly aligned to SDG UN global sustainable goals. So that's important to mention. So we can start with the workshop. Okay, first of all, I think for some people in this part of the world could be like a difficult hour because they just launched. So I wanted to be a little bit dynamic, and a really easy dynamic that we can like start doing is ask some specific questions. First of all, I'm gonna explain you how it will work. First of all, there's a platform called Menti. So in that way, you can go by this platform to answer this specific question by scanning the QR that you can see in the screen, or join by menti.com and typing this code. So we can start. This is gonna be the first like question. So this is like our pilot. And then you're gonna be like super familiarized with the platform and with the dynamic. So we can start, and let me know if you have some kind of trouble getting into the platform, and we can start. The first thing that I want to know is if you're familiar with the development cooperation and the opportunities that may exist on your organization under this framework. So we can start by, if you want, could be easier. You can do it like scanning this QR, or you can do it like with the typing in your browser in Google or Mozilla, any browser that you have, and then typing the code. And then you're gonna get to the platform and be able to answer this specific question. That's gonna be like a multiple choice. So let's get in. Let me know if you have some problem. I'm gonna be here, super attentive. Let me know if you can go in. Okay, let's do it. Okay, I start to. I'm gonna stop sharing this to share what we are gonna start to, or what we are watching if we are doing this activity, right? Okay, so we will have here, yep. Are you familiar with the development cooperation and opportunities that may exist for your organization under this framework? Yes or not? Yes, kind of, not at all. Those are the options that we have. Okay, we already have 15 people participating, 3 people saying that you like it. Really nice. It's just to know where we are at the beginning, and it's gonna be getting like interesting all the time. I'm not sure you can show the answers in real time, but I'm not showing because that used to create like I mean, if you see that a lot of people is saying yes, probably the people that is like no would think about that. So we won't want to create that. So let's do it like that. At the end, I will show the answers, right? So then I want to ask you another thing before we continue. Has your organization participate? You can stay where you were, or you can, if you miss the first question, you can scan again the QR and then answer the question. So has your organization participate in projects under the development cooperation framework? Perfect. We have 9 answers, 10 answers, 12. We will give a little bit of time and then we're gonna check the results, because I think it's interesting to have like a general overview where we are in at the beginning about the development cooperation framework and opportunities. Okay. Okay. Let's check the results. Are you familiar with the development cooperation opportunities that may exist for your organization under this framework? Okay, look, there's like an equal distribution. Let's say 40% of people says yes. Let's say the 30% of people says I don't know, for 40, 20. Let's say something around 35, and 30. Let's say 35% of people said yes. 30% of people says kind of, yes, I'm not that sure, and not at all, 35% as well. So we have a really like equal distribution in this specific question. Okay, someone someone says like, no, I really, oh no, someone else asked. So, but it still, it's a really equal like distribution. Nice, perfect. So let's go with the answers. Has your organization participated in projects under the Development Cooperation Framework? It's not a big difference. Let's say it's a proportion of 40-60%. So perfect. People that already has experience in that will have like another perspective or an complementary perspective about these opportunities. So thanks for your time. Thanks. I really hope you enjoy this this uh, dynamic. I think is good to start like being like have something to be like active in this kind of spaces. So hopefully you enjoy it. We will continue with presentation with the general framework. Let me perfect. So let's go. Introduction to the international development cooperation. Okay, in a general view, what we want to say is just that the development cooperation is a government effort supported by the international by an robust ecosystem composed by international organizations, civil society, academy, RTOs, and private sector to promote actions that contribute to sustainable development and improve standards of living. It's strongly aligned with UN SGT goals, right? These living of population as well, the improvement of the standard of living as well of the population through the transfer. I mean, how we get to these goals: transferring, reception, exchange of information, knowledge, technology, experience, and resources. Those are our. Oh, there's someone that want to say something? Because okay, let's go. Those are like the general concept of development cooperation. Okay, there are some specific frameworks where it can be materialized or it can be made. First of all, the bilateral cooperation that is between one country, the country A, and the country B. And it's supported by a regulatory framework, usually a basic cooperation agreement between it. So that would be a cooperation between two countries, two states. Multilateral cooperation is between countries and international and or regional organizations, supported by a legal instrument, convention, or international agreement. Okay, before I continue, I forgot to say something. Please, if you have some questions, type it in the chat, because at the end of the session, we will have a space focus on that. On probably if we have a lot of questions, we cannot be able because of terms of constraining times to answer all of them, but we will check, we will select some of them, and then if you miss our answer, we will answer, but email or any other like channel. Any of your questions would be answered in this space or later. Okay, we continue, sorry. Bilateral cooperation, multilateral cooperation, regional cooperation, that are actions aimed at a specific geographic area. through which multiple country benefits. It's not focused in one country, it's in a regional area. And triangular cooperation is joint actions with a traditional bilateral cooperation or multilateral partner in favor of a third country. People that used to have a bilateral cooperation and invite someone to be part of, so that would be a triangular cooperation. So these are like the context in which partnerships being countries, as well as international organizations and partners are established to implement development cooperation projects. Could be more, but those are like the standard ones. Actually, in some space that we will have during this workshop, we will like go in a specific projects under probably triangular cooperation and multilateral cooperation. But I will let you know before this. Okay, another thing important in the development cooperation framework is to say or to be conscious of who are the key players on that. Okay, how is the ecosystem composed? So we design this kind of ecosystem map where you can watch the different actors that have an important role in this sector of development cooperation. Okay, we make like an illustrative exercise with the WAITRO's members, and we are conscious that we will have in the quadruple X, if you see this circle, you will have the quadruple X because we have like four big actors that interact and have a relevant like role in these development cooperation opportunities. So we will have the RTOs and academies. In here, I'm not gonna specify the different actors we map, but this part, what we said, you can see in this part of the circle is some of the WAITRO's area, some of the WAITRO members, and it's important to know that these members are all around the world. This selection came from Latin America, then we go by different sub-regions in Europe, then one for Africa, and then Asia. Even Oceania we have here. So that's important to know that we have these represents of the quadruple X here in WAITRO. Okay, if we go to the private entities that compose this quadruple X, we will find as well as associations, companies, associations, and companies. Okay, with a really like focus area on development of R&D and innovation as well. So at the same, it plays like the same role. We have as in RTOs and Academy, we will have all the worldwide represents a part of our WAITRO network, right? So that's good to know, and it's the second like key player here in our ecosystem. The other and the third player in our ecosystem are the NGOs, and civil societies organizations. We're focused and with representation of society, because it's always like a transversal or cross a key player in all the actions and efforts that are taking place. Okay, and then at the end we will have public entities. The public entities will be in a more general way to see it, international multi-level entities, national entities, such as ministries, something that is in a national level, is regional entities and local entities. And okay, those conforms like the quadruple helix through comprehensive. It's like an comprehensive and collaborative action by these actors. They are contributing to knowledge, research, capabilities, and the main global development challenge are addressed. It's important to know that those actors are not like isolated actors. They are always integrated and interacting, generating synergies between them. Okay, and it's important to know as well, if we go to the left of on this map, we will have the ecosystem actors. Those are those have like this part of being the coordinators of all the ecosystem, because all the interactions they must have like a coordinator that could like potential those actions. Which are the like the specific roles of those ecosystem coordinators? First of all, design development cooperation guidelines and standards, promote, support, monitors members' commitments. Each of these coordinated actors, and it could be more, but we will have like an example of which can be these coordinated ecosystem actors, uh, have these like responsibilities and actions. They took those actions. Promote, supporting, and monitors members' committee. And basically, they are who generates opportunity that becomes projects. So they have a really like essential role here in the development cooperation sector. Okay. Making like a zooming on those ecosystem coordinators, we will have the ones that we have before. I will show you. Okay, the ones that we had before. So a super quick recap. We will have the quadruple X that is interacting between all the actors, public, society, private entities, and RTOs. They are interacting in the development cooperations opportunities that are generated, and there's some ecosystem coordinators. All these actions need to be coordinated. So we will go to watch some examples to understand a little bit of how it works. For example, OECD, they have 38 members. It's worldwide organization or ecosystem coordinator. Main activities as a coordinated actor. They have international standards and guidelines. They design that are designed based on best practices. They as well act like monitoring the implementation by members, by the 38 members that compose their network of their organization, their global organization. Those three that we have are global entities, global represented entities. The development cooperation funding research, okay, we will have that where it comes, they have contribution from 32 members that are part of the development assistance commitment. The development cooperation funding resource is pretty much that one, okay? And the strategic area that they have or they are they have in this development cooperation focus is tackling the poverty and inequality through the green transition. So it's like this synergy between poverty and inequality, need of and goals. Okay, we have some question. Okay, I will check that question in a few minutes, and then we can discuss that. We will check if we can discuss before closing this specific model or a part of, we will do it at the end. I will check it. Okay, the strategic areas on the development cooperation could be, or in the specific case of the OCD, is the tackling of poverty. But yes, these are super big challenge, globally challenge, poverty and inequality, as well as a green transition, the sustainability focus on the environmental field. So they are making this one, because that's important to know. Now the challenge that we have in the world, they are not isolated challenge. They are connected between them, and and if they are connected between them, it's for good things, but as well could be for bad things. But they are like, okay, if we take advantage, or if we focus and address our actions in green transition, in some areas or some degrees, we will impact poverty and inequality. So that's important to know, and it's an interesting like approach to the global challenge that we have already. Okay, if we go back by United Nations, we have a really important presence with 198 countries. Again, worldwide organization. They have the guides, they guides the entire development cooperation program cycle, driving planning, implementation, monitoring, reporting, and evaluating collective UN support for achieve the agenda, the 2030 agenda. Development cooperation funding resource, the mainly like resource, they have like some specific programs focus on the development cooperation. The first of them could be United Nations Development Program, and the second of it would be United Industrial Development Organization. And they have more. This is just like illustrative, okay? The strategic areas on the development cooperation, they are follow the 2030 agenda, and it's this SGD that SDG that we already check. This is like the general and the strategic goals that they are follow. Okay, this is about the United Nations, okay? If we go forward to the World Bank, we will find 189 countries worldwide again, and which are like the main activities as ecosystem coordinators. They are mobilizing financial resources, fostering partnerships between probably between its members, global development agendas, align development projects with international frameworks. An example, for example, or example given, SDG, and where they have the resources, or where its funding comes from. It's from contributions of members countries and through bond issues, sustainability development bonds, for example. Those can be one of the mechanisms they fund their different activities. One of the activities is related with the development cooperation. And it has two specific agencies. These three ecosystem coordinators are like big structures. So they used to have sub-agencies focus on different like projects or areas. So in the case of the World Bank, we have the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development and the International Development Association. Probably we will have more, but for now we check those. The strategic areas that they are following is promoting governance, ending of energy poverty, and supporting a strong strategy of accountability, transparency, and development impact. Okay. Okay, there's a lot of information. It's important to know the general framework, the ecosystem players, the coordinators of that ecosystem, and then we will go back to the dynamic part of the session. So after we check all this ecosystem, I want you thinking about your organization. Yeah, it is like a checking point. Thinking about your organization, where you can, where do you think you are in this ecosystem? So let's do the same exercise that we just make some minutes ago. And if you want, you can answer to this question. On the development cooperation ecosystem, which kind of actor your organization represents? Let's just check super quick this ecosystem, okay? That is composed by RTOs and academy, private entities, society, and public entities. So I want you thinking about your organization, where you are located. Probably if there's someone of like an a multilateral or something around, could be on or being part of the ecosystem actors, could be, why not? Or we have some question in the actually in the chat related with WAITRO, so probably we can discuss that. But okay, if we go and we make the same exercise, I will ask you to do the same thing that we just make. Let me allow you to answer the question. Hold 1 second. If we go, so if you scan or go by typing the, okay, if you go by scanning this QR or going to your browser, typing menti.com and putting this code, you will be able to answer the question. So let's give 2 minutes, okay?
Well, you come tonight to me. I'm gonna show you how to scan it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you.
We
RTO?
RTO, yeah, yeah, RTO.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Yep.
Oh, I think I'm not showing you the platform of answers, but okay, we already start to get like answers. We already have 11 answers, so let's wait a bit. Let's wait 1 minute more. So remember, where do you think your organization is in this like ecosystem composed by private entities, public entities, RTOs or universities, and society? Because it's interesting to know where we are like located and which could be like our role in this ecosystem that works. It's important to know that is not an isolated actor. It's always like interacting. Okay, we already have 17. I'm super positive. I'm waiting till 20. Let's give a shot to have the 20. If if we see that it's not getting more answers, we just close like that. Okay. No. Okay. I don't know if someone has troubles to get in. Let me know in the chat. I'm just waiting. I'm just checking the chat. If someone has trouble and wants to participate in this dynamic, let me know by the chat and I will check it for you. No, I think we're done. Perfect. So we will know how is the distribution of actors in this meeting. Yeah. Okay. Let's hide this. So we will have RTOs and universities, the 12 from 17. So that will be, I don't know, 80%. I missed the map, Andrews. Andrews, I think you can still, there's an 18, an additional answer. I don't know if were you. Hopefully, I hope. I'm checking the chat, but I hope you were the additional answer that we have here. Perfect. So the sorry is a bit of a problem. Okay, it's okay. We will check. So mainly we have RTOs and universities in charge of the creation and management of knowledge, technology, among others. So that's important to know. We will have 3 from public entities. We will have 1 from a private entity, and we will have 1 from society. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, what I was telling you is that it's important to know where we are in this ecosystem, because everything works like that, like an ecosystem. It's not like an isolated where just in an RTO or an university. No, is part of an ecosystem. Oh, sorry, because we came to the beginning, but okay. Just going forward with that. Okay, we already checked the general framework of these development cooperation actions and opportunities. Now we want to know which are the institutional financial entities and the funding schemes. Yeah, because that is important, because is what it makes things happen. We need the funds to make things happen. So if we go in this mapping, we have in a global and multilateral area, the ones that we already identify, like coordinator ecosystems. We have the World Bank, we have United Nations, and we have the OECD. Okay, if we go to the regional level, and if we go to each of these areas, we will have, this is illustrative, okay, because we here, for example, in Latin America, we will have more, for sure, more IFIs, and the same in Africa, Asia, and Europe. Okay, so if we go by Latin America, we will have the Inter-American Development Bank, the Bank of Latin America Development, the CAF. We will have this one as well. And okay, I'm not gonna be like zooming this, because we just want to make like an illustrative mapping of them. Here in Africa, you will have the African Development Bank, as well as these more like regional banks. Here in Asia, or sub-regional banks, to be more accurate. In the Asia region, you will have the Asian Development Bank and the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. And Europe, you will have the European Commission, and you will have the European Bank, as well as the EuroPaid. Here in the European Commission, you will have the different directories. There's a lot of directories, but we would concentrate that on European Commission, okay? And still in the regional like sphere, we will have WAITRO regions. These three banks are interesting. We will not gonna be like zooming them, but they are interesting because they are covering the regions that we are just looking here, like Latin America, Africa, Asia, and Europe. The New Development Bank, Global Green Growth Institute, and Eurasian Development Bank. They have projects in those four regions. And in the national level, we will have the National Development Cooperation Agencies. Some countries have an agency focused on development cooperation. For example, USA, they have with the USA. Mexico, they have with Amexit. We a really known agency is the German HZ, the ICIT, it's from Spain actually, the AFD from France, and the SIDA from Sweden. Okay, this is like the general map. If we focus, sorry, if we focus on the WAITRO forum, we want to make some on like assuming on some of these funding schemes. Okay, first of all, in a global like perspective, the World Bank would be. Second of all, in Latin America, and I will let you know why we choose this specific in the regional, like in the regional perspective. In Latin America, the IDB. In Africa, the African Development Bank. And in Asia, the Asian Development Bank. In Latin America, these three agencies that we are choosing is because they have like a whole cover of the whole region. Because here, for example, in Latin America, there's some agency but covering Central American or South American. So we want to focus in those like those ecosystem coordinators that have a presence on the whole region. It's the same for Africa and the same for Asia. That's the reason why. Okay, so what we want to know now is about those specific agencies. No, sorry, for those specific actors, what they are doing. And so the World Bank, we already checked it, like an ecosystem coordinator and with a global or worldwide impact. They are a part of international financial agency that makes loans, and they provides as well grants to governments in a low or middle income countries to fund capital projects. The United Nations was driving force behind the founding of the World Bank. It's an institution from 1944, and it's still the World Bank's largest shareholders today. It's important to here we will, and for the ones that the specific like actors that I mentioned before, we will have this checking. We will check the opportunities overview, focus on cooperation categories. So we will check which kind of cooperation it's taking place in each of the categories. And then before we get in that, I will make like a zooming on the cooperation categories, okay? And for each one of them, we will check the strategic areas where they are more like sectorials. Yeah, they are where they're focused. But before we go in this, we will check. It's important to know that from framework, because sorry, I don't know why, but I missed this slide that it's important before we go in these specific funding actors. So the cooperation, they have two like specific instruments to be like material. Okay, so we have first of all the programs that are like an integral and a wide set of actions and activities designed to achieve a specific development outcome.
والله لاني انا ما دخلتش من الاول
Hold on a
فقلت
second.
فكرتك داخله من الاول.
So we will have, we already have the framework of development cooperation, right? How we make it possible? By programs or by projects. What we are in the programs, in the world of programs. So programs are integral set of actions and activities designed to achieve specific development outcomes within a defined time frame with a regional, thematic, or group specific. For example, could be like a program focused on from IC. I see this the Development Cooperation Spanish agency. They have a program focused on Latin America development. That's a wide program. They don't have a specific objective. They have something in terms of geography with Latin America. They have this wide program. Okay, the project, that is the second instrument that make things possible or make these opportunities something material, are the projects. The projects which kind of projects or what can be like representative from a project. Define objective, a specific geographical area with predetermined resources. We already have resources defined for that, and timelines, and aim at particular group or financial beneficiaries with a goal of solving a specific problem. So if we move in the world of the programs, it's wider. If we go to the projects, it's to solve something specific to a specific group. So that's important to know, okay? And in this world of program and projects, there can be, or there a lot of cooperation, interested areas that can take place. For example, the technical assistance, the knowledge generation and transfer cooperation, and product and service design. If we go to the first one, the first one is focus on technical assistance, okay? Set of activities aimed to strengthen the institutional and human resources capacities of the partner or partner countries. Because remember, could be bilateral cooperation, but could be more than one country cooperation. So by both or more partners, as well as other actors within the ecosystem that we already checked. Okay, the knowledge generation and transfer cooperation consists on training, research, development, and innovation actions for the global sustainable development. Carry out and in collaboration with research centers and the different actors that are part of our ecosystem. And the third of the cooperation strategic or interesting areas are the products or services that we can provide those organizations that consist in designs, development, and implementation of a specialized product and or services that meet the needs of the partner or partners countries. Perfect. Okay, this was a big parenthesis. Sorry, because before I start to zooming in this part, I want to make clear that. So we just take the funding like actors that we have, okay? We will make a zoom in in the Latin America, in the regional part, in the global part, sorry, with the World Bank. Then in the regional level, we will have the Latin American level, African level, and Asia level. Europe, we're not making that soon because we want to show that there's a lot of like different areas where we can find really like interesting opportunities, triple impact opportunities. That's why we're focused more like in these three regions. Okay, so sorry. So we go for the World Bank. Okay, we were saying that the World Bank is an international financial agency. It's their largest shareholders in in the current world. And which are the categories or the cooperation categories that we just check. That's why I wanted to focus on that. They have, if we see, they have like almost like 50% of the projects focus on technical assistance. Okay, that could include is consulting services. Yeah, for example, they have the 26%, 27% focusing on a product development, and the 17% focus on service. So that's important to know. Strategic areas, which are science and innovation as well, we will check. In all the whole like entities that we will check, we will have or we will see that science and innovation is like a constant. We will find all the time science and innovation like a cross area in all kind of projects. So that's important to know, and it makes like match with WAITRO forum as well and mission as well. So strategic areas, we will have science and innovation, as I said, climate change and fragility, clean and renewable energy, digital economy, disruptive technology, human capital, development, economic integration, food security, affordable housing. Perhaps that those some we can check that, or we can see that some are like really current challenge that we are affording. Private sector development, this is a little bit like wider, and infrastructure. This one. I see that someone asked for the here in the chat a specific question. We will keep it. I promise you, I will check it and we will answer all the answers at the end. Okay, just to go on to be on time with the webinar. Okay, if we go to the second entity that we consider interesting, but in a like a regional level, we will see the IDB. Is the biggest source of development in Latin America and the Caribbean. Was established in 1959, and it supports the economic region, and not just the economic, but the social development. Those are like the main factors that carry out their activity. As well, another thing important in the mission is the integration of the regional integration. How it make it happens? By lending the governments or government agencies. Government agencies. Hold 1 second. Let me because someone asked me to. Okay. Oh, hold 1 second because I think that could you see the presentation, right? Because something here happens and I don't know if you still. Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
IDB.
Okay.
No?
Perfect. IDB. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. These are like the general description of the institution. Now, if we go and make like an opportunities overview, we will check that they have the 54% of their activity in projects of development cooperation focus on technical assistance. The 16% focus on product, and the 40% focus on service. The other part could be like goods, or could be an unspecified like categories here. Then I will let you know where we can check those like interesting areas. Yeah, I think in the third or fourth model that we will see. This is important to know, like where we are interested, or where the entity or ecosystem coordinator is interesting. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, about the strategic areas. Okay, here I have I mentioned it twice, but science and innovation is a focus in the whole agencies, or in the whole actors that coordinators the ecosystem. I put it twice, but no, it's just because it's an important area. Disasters reduction, environmental and natural resources management, humanitarian aid, and emergency and poverty reduction. This about the Inter-American Development Bank. Okay, regarding the region of Africa, or Africa, we want we make an assuming on the African Development Bank. And this is a regional multilateral development financial institution established in 1963 with a mandate to further economic and social progress in Africa countries. Individually and collective, 80 members countries, including all of the 54 countries of that belongs to the African region, and 26 non-African countries in the Americas, Europe, and Asia owned bank. The cooperation areas, again, if we check like the constant like area, we see that technical assistance is in the whole agencies, or the whole actors that we were assuming. The technical assistance take almost the 64%. With product in 14%, and services 13%. Again, strategic areas, science and innovation, agriculture. They have a lot of like priorities areas: education, energy, environmental and natural resources management, health, human resources, information and communications technology, rural development, private sector and small companies, small and medium enterprises, transport, urban development, and water and sanitation. Those are like the priorities in terms of sectors. And we will share with you, I don't know if this week, probably, the presentation with, and you're going to be able to use it like a tool to approach to the development cooperation actions. For now, what we will be like useful is to identify the different coordinated actors and funding schemes, and the websites where you can check it out. But we will check even more like specific tools that gonna be useful for you. Okay, in their last actor that we will check, we have the Asian Development Bank that aims for an Asia and Pacific free from poverty, and partnership with members' governments, independent specialists, and other financial institutions. It focuses on delivering projects in developing members' countries that create economic and development impact. In the cooperation categories, we will have like in the Asia, specifically in Asia Development Bank, they have the most projects focused on technical assistance. if we compare with the World Bank, if we compare with the Inter-American Development Bank, or if we compare with the African Development Bank. But the four of them, they have like a predominantly technical assistance projects. Okay, so here we will have 72% focus on projects that are based on technical assistance, 14% on product, and 83% on services. The strategic areas, again, is science and innovation, education, energy, environmental and natural resources management, gender, more like focus on social challenges, gender, poverty reduction, public administration, efficiency, probably, social development, again, a social challenge, transport, urban development, and water and sanitation. That this is another constant, like part of the development or environmental challenge that we afford, but the water is one strategic resource where this ecosystem actors are focused and are like yes, like looking for opportunities to enhance the water management systems or a circularity on the water process, water reuse, wastewater reuse, etc. Okay. Those are the like some of the agents, the ecosystem actors that we wanted to focus. It doesn't mean that are the only ones not in region, not in global perspective, but we want to focus on that. I said it again. We choose this because they have like an whole representation and impact in the whole region. For example, IDB in the whole region of Latin America and the Caribbean, African as well, and Asia and Pacific as well. So that's why we choose it, but it's just illustrative. You don't have just to focus on that. And we will give you more tips to look not just for these specific actors, but for like make wider your options depending of your regional interested or interests and your sectoral interest. We will give you more tools. That's the focus of the scope of this space. Okay. If we go and we focus on the business development strategy of the development cooperation opportunities. First of all, before we define our strategy, we want to define three things. Define the organization value proposition. Now that we have this like general framework of the development cooperation opportunities in terms of categories of cooperation, technical assistance, product or service, design, development, or which applies, as well as we have the strategic areas, environmental and natural resources management, urban development, social challenges. Okay, well, we already know what they are trying to solve. Yeah, which kind of problems or which kind of opportunities they want to explode. So we will have to define how we are like an organization with that opportunities, yeah, with those challenges. So first of all, we need to define the organization value proposition. Second of all, we need to map all those actors that make sense for us, and we will need to prioritize some of those actors for sure, because there's a lot of actors. We have I don't even know how many they are, but they are a lot of actors. So definitely we will need to select some of those actors. And third, we will need to identify and build valuable partnerships. Those are continuous process. I mean, they are like living process that you have to feed all the time, all the time, all the time. You already have your current partners, but you still will need to make it like more valuable, but bigger as well in terms of numbers, but in terms of quality as well. So those are the key like elements that you will need to define first, and that are continuously like you will need to continuously work in. Okay, once you already define those things, you will have to we plan. I mean, this is not mandatory, but it's how we approach to the opportunities in under the development cooperation framework. First of all, registration. I mean, you already have, this is under the vision that you already define your donors. I want to focus on BID or on Inter-American Development Bank. I want to focus on Asian Development Bank, for example, just to say. So we will need to make the registration that's more like operational, but is required to do it. A registration on the specific portal that they have of the procurement portal or of my donors or the donors that I select. I will need to select or define a surveillance strategy. I will need to know and to understand how this funding, for example, in the case of the Inter-American Development Bank, how it works, starting by which kind of services they needed to be provided by my organization, which kind of areas they are focused, that we already checked, but we will go back for that because I know that it's a lot of information. So it's important like to refresh. But okay, we will need to know we will need to know areas, and we will need to know services that they will require, and we will need to know templates that the procurement process that they will, or the standard procurement process that they have. We will check that. This is the third like step that we will have to take. The bid process, what I told you, like we will have to know which are the stages that I will be like following to from the I know which opportunity is, or the lead, which opportunity I have, then how I make it to get or to go till the contract sign, for example. Okay, we will go forward in that specific step. Lobby, that's something like pros to the whole process as well as key partners, but it's something that once I know which is the specific opportunity that I have, it's important to know which or how can approach to a partner. I mean, anyway, it depends if I'm able to go as a coordinator of the project, or I will need to be like more like a partner. So I will definitely need to know how I map those partners for the strategy, for the specific opportunities that I found in the funding categories that I'm interested on. And the lobby, this is important, like to be able to assist to the events that World Bank is like organizing, IDB, etc. And this is important, and we will focus on each of these steps. Okay. First of all, in the registration step, we will have like some actions suggested. And for example, we will check access and register in each of the funding schemes platform that I choose. Could be 1, could be 2, 3, 4, 5, the ones that you and your organization consider to be like prior, okay, and important. So in this example, this is illustrative. We check the World Bank and we check the Inter-American Development Bank. And related with the World Bank, you can sign up. I mean, all of these platforms, you can definitely, without signing up and without having an account, you can check the opportunities or the tenders that they are offering on their development cooperation framework. You can. But if you want to set up alarms, or if you want like personalize your surveillance or your research, you will need to get an account. So it's important to do it. We include here the links. I wanted to go by link, but I think time is not gonna be enough. So I will let you the presentation and any question that you will have, because this is more like operative. Any question that you will have, please don't hesitate, because you can contact me by email, even by cell phone, to more specific things related with the operational stuff, right? Okay, so the World Bank, it has this like format, and you can sign up, and then you can set up your alarms. In the International Development Bank, you can sign up to see like more details of the opportunity you are interested in. But there's something important about this in the alerts that I will show you in the next step. So first step in how we approach to opportunities, we will have the registration, okay? I just want you to keep that in mind. The second step that you will have is the surveillance. In the surveillance, what we're gonna do, once we register on our funding schemes that of interest, let's say like that, we define a strategy of periodically checking on new opportunities. Look for automatic updates like newsletters and alarms or others. Some funding schemes let us or facilitate, make easier our activity, and they let us set up alarms or subscribe to newsletters. For example, the World Bank, it allows to subscribe to newsletters, but it allows as well to set up a personalized alert system. So in the case specific of the World Bank, once you are registered, you already have your profile, you access to the procurement notice platform you will have here. Then you pick the type of alert that you will need or you are interested to get. General, for a specific project. I check one project. I want to know if the project now it's an expression of interest and then is in a request of proposal. I want to know like updates of any specific project, for example, or procurement. That this part refers more like the stage, or refers as well to the stage where or which I'm interested, like an organization. Yeah, like I'm interested in the opportunities that are already open, or I'm interested more in a middle term opportunities. So I want to know which it's going to be open in a couple of months or something like that. I can set up my alerts taking into account those factors. The second thing or third thing that I will do is the check or personalize the alert system that I want to set up, taking into account country, region, okay, country or region, notice type. I mean, what I told you, that like the stage where the opportunity is, expression of interest or or more advanced request of proposal or invitation to tender, etc. And okay, we have like more options to personalize. I just invite you like to check out the link and check out the filters that may apply, and they make like more specific and more focus your research and surveillance as well, because here you can set up alarms and you will say name and save your alert. That's the specific case of the World Bank. If we go to the IDB, to the Inter-American Development Bank, we don't have the possibility to set up alarms. We just have the bank or the pool of opportunities, and we have some filters to apply, and we will see those opportunities. In that specific case, you will have like a more proactive role to take. And you will have in that proactive role, you will have two options. Subscribe to the newsletter. That could be you can subscribe to the newsletter, but you will need to personalize your interest. So you will need to say like, okay, I want to get information, but I will need to know development cooperations opportunities. I will need to know tenders. You will need to let them know what you're interested in, okay? And this is more reactive because you will get just the information. If you focus on a proactive or on a proactive perspective, you will have two options. Okay, they have here the newsletter portal or the publications portal. So you will need to define a strategy of periodically review the newsletter publications portal, setting up the filters that will be like will make like more effective your research and your selection. This is like the more proactive focus, as well as this is newsletter like approach. Then you will have another option that it's to design your own alert strategy. They have the IDB bio portal that it has all the opportunities of procurement under the development cooperation framework. So you will need to define your strategy of surveillance. So once you register, you will need to define or predefine keywords. Could be the keywords could be sectorial, technological area, others sectorial. So for example, transportation. I'm interested in transportation. Technological areas. Interesting in Internet of Things, for example, etc. Those keywords you will need to predefine for your research, that you will need to define a periodicity as well. So keywords, country, the region where you're interested in, and surveillance periodicity. Okay, I'm going to check it weekly. I'm going to check it monthly. The ones that you consider. Okay, everything here has the link. You can check it and you can navigate. And any question that we'll have, please don't hesitate. You can contact me. Perfect. If we go to the process, to our process, let me recap. So we already defined our super quick, because I know that there's a lot of like stages. So I just want you to keep the process. we already defined our organization value proposition. We have selected our preliminary, because this is not static, it is continually like fitted international donors, identify and build a valuable partnership. We'll continue with our constructing, identifying, looking for, and constructing valuable partnerships. We already have that. We already check our priorities. We will register on those priorities, regions, schemes that we are focusing. We register with surveillance. We have our strategic strategy of surveillance. Now we're going to the funding categories. We already know I want to focus on Inter-American Development Bank, but I will need to know which kind of projects they have. I will need to know the procurement process that they have in order to be prepared to approach to those opportunities that I will be continuously like having all the time. Okay. And this is, I put it here because I think that those are like, it's like a synergy between between steps. You will need to beat the process. So you will need to know the kind of project that you have, and you will need to know the process and templates that you will require to fill out. In that way, we will need to, or we plan to check, for example, the ones that we already checked. I'm gonna be super quick because I think I have just like 15 minutes. so I want to be on time. And the World Bank, we already checked the cooperation categories areas, and as well as the strategic areas, and as the same for the Inter-American Development Bank. This is the step like focusing. I want to know what can I found in each funding agent. Okay. So the third process will be, I want to know how the bid process in each agent works. Here we make the same for World Bank and Inter-American Development Bank, because a standard process is pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same. I mean, you get a procurement plan, then you get the expression of interest request that you need to present. I'm not gonna be like super specific in this because of the time, but we will share with you this presentation. This is, so I'm gonna show you how it works. Expression of interest, you get, this is the first step. So you, like an organization, have 15 natural days to express the interest to participate in the tender that will be published. Okay, you will have those days to prepare your expression of interest, depending on the agent that you are, or the funding agent. It has some specific like formats. The second stage would be the request for proposal, that this is more related with the tender phase. Okay, here you're gonna need to go deep in the technical proposal that you have, in the economical proposal that you have, and in the management of the whole project that you will need to have. So in this kind of project, you will need to prove always like technical expertise, as well as in some projects you will need to provide or to be able to demonstrate a geographical expertise in the specific area that they have the project. It's not always like that, but some projects could could like requires that from your organization, and management experience that you have, like a coordinator of the project. But it's not necessary. It's just because, I mean, if it is a super huge project, you will need some entity to coordinate, to manage, to make like the management and organization of the project. And then you can have like a technical and more technical organization, uh, taking in charge of all the technical, for example, of the technical activities, the studies and evaluations, technical assistant, etc. So it depends, but for sure you will need always to have a coordinator, and then you will need to have a technical part, and then you will need to have a management part, sorry. Those are like the three areas that they were focused, and you will need to prove like more with a more exhaustive way in the tender phase or stage. Then, so you go to the expression of interest, a request of proposal, where you zoom in your technical, financial, management experience. Award, then the authority says, okay, you got the contract. Then you will go to the handover. I mean, this previous or transitional phase from you get the contract and you need to implement the what you get. And those are like the medium duration from of each one of the stages. Okay, I'm not gonna focus on each one because of the time, but that's how it works. So if you have like some specific question about that, I can answer that. Anyway, we will share with you the procurement plans of each one of these activity of these agencies, of these actors, because they have like some specifications and some special things related to the specific institution. I mean, the World Bank has everything is like commonly standard, but they have something special things. If we go by the World Bank or if we check the Asian Development Bank, we will share with you this week or next week the procurement plans of those 4 regions that we are checking in this workshop. Okay, as well as the African Development Bank, I'm not super focused on that because they used to have the same process and the same stages. It's not a big difference. What can like be different is the time or the times that they used to have for each stage. I mean, for the expression of interest evaluation, expression or evaluation, no, evaluation of tender, they used to have 10 days or 15, and the other one 15 to 20. So there are not like huge difference. And another thing important, and that it's like consistent in between these 4 agencies or actors, is that the general eligibility criteria are pretty much the same. I mean, you can be or your organization is eligible if it allows to the members country of the specific bank, and pretty much that. If you have technical experience to prove, as well as financial like capabilities to demonstrate, and sometimes geographical experience can be like required, not always, depending on the projects, but they are pretty much the same. You can check when we like share with you the specific documentation you can share, but there's some like a standard eligibility criteria between all of them, all of these authorities. Okay. If we go, okay, we already have registration, surveillance defined, funding categories, bid process. We already know how it works, which are the stages, which are the actions that I require to do. It's important as well to the lobby. I mean, lobby understand, like, let's go to the lobby, to visit, present your organization to the different funding schemes. Okay, how can I do that? We can check the event agendas if we already have in our partnerships or relationship or CRM system of our organization perfectly. If we have the contact of World Bank perfectly, but if we don't, uh, we can define our like surveillance events donors as well, as the newsletter. Those like tools I think can be like really useful for us to check and to identify the projects, and not the project, the events that are coming, and that will be like super useful in terms of networking and to get in touch with donors. That's super important, and to know which areas they are focused now, because we're in a world that is constantly like changing. So it's important to be like super aware and be like present on those updates events of priority of global priorities. So I consider that's important. The six element or step important that we will need to know, or we will need to take in action, is the key partners mapping. Map key entities or beneficiaries to establish partnership for proposals. So we will being like searching and identifying some proposals, but I will say like, okay, this proposal is perfectly aligned with my value proposition, but I don't have the capacity to coordinate that process, that super big project of $5 million, by 5 million euros, dollars. And so this is like an invitation to look within what we have already. Within WAITRO, you have a global network of potential partners to advance on those opportunities that you identify. So this is like literally like an invitation to, first of all, look within. That's how we close our business development process. And we have like a tip, because we in our Leitat own experience have a platform that is really useful, because it's like a centralized platform to check it out, all these part of these like steps of the process. I will take the time to show you super quick that, because I think totally worth it. From registration to key partners mapping. And I will show you. It's a complementary. It doesn't mean that everything that we just check, you don't have to do it, or you don't have to take it serious. No, I think it's a complementary tool, but it's super useful. So I want you to check that. I wanted to show you just super quick, and then we will go with the next module. Okay. This is the platform that we used to use, and it's called Development Aid. And it's interesting because you have these like models to look for partnerships, organizations, tenders, grants, donors. So The first step will be register. Okay, we have it. The second step, but I will do it at the end, will be the tender alert. But I am just gonna show you how it works. We will have our tender like searcher. So here we can set up our search, focusing on the sectors that I'm interested in, focusing locations that I'm interested in. Okay, this is how conventional like funding agency would work, but it doesn't make what I think is special of it. But I mean, you have the opportunity to check more than one funding agency. That I mean, I want to check Inter-American, American, IDB, but not just IDB. I want to check Asian. So, for example, let's say it's those. I want to check some sector. Let's say it's environmental and natural resources management. Okay, and then you apply the filters that your organization considers to be aligned with your strategy and value proposition. Though that makes your like research super focused, and you can apply for more than one in the same research for one or more 10 donors. That's important. But what is important as well is that once I say, for example, I'm interested in this one, they allow you to look for partners or recommended for these specific tenders partners for your organization. So that's good because you said, okay, I like this opportunity and I don't have this requirement, but probably this partner can have it. So that is really useful. That in that part. The third part or the third step that we were checking were the donors or the agencies or agents that used to fund our activity, our development cooperation program or projects. So if I want to check the IDB, I will check this. I will go to donors and it has like a profile. It's like a social network of development cooperation ecosystem actors. Let's define it like that. And they are posting the needs and we can apply to those needs, like offering our solutions. So that's important. If we go to donors in the third step that we were checking to know our funding schemes, we will have, for example, Inter-American Development Bank. We will have the procurement policy that they have, and we can check the tenders that they have. Another important thing is that we are able, it doesn't allows me to show you, but the overview of the tenders that we were checking before, I can check it here. I mean, the sectors that they are focusing in and the technological areas, the regional areas that they are focusing. That's important. They allows us to meet our donors or the donors we are focused in. And they allow us in the 5 step as well, because they give you all the contacts and we can contact them through this platform. Okay, so that's important. And this in the part of the lobby is important as well, because here we can check the events that those donors or events under the framework of development cooperation are taking place. So that's important as well. So we wanted just to show you these tool, like a complementary tool of what we already check, because what I said, it centralized all the business development process, so it can be really useful to deploy your strategy. Okay. We will share with you that, so would be perfect. I will go back to the presentation, and with that I close, and I will give the word and the presentation to our special guest that I'm really interesting that you can hear and know as well, because those are like examples of development cooperation collaborations, really really interesting, really like diverse from what we are used to. So hold 1 second, please. These are the. I forgot to navigate with you in this part, but as well in the platform that I just showed you, you can set up the alarm. Okay, the tenders alarm. You will have the filters to apply, and you will define. I wanted to get this alert weekly or monthly or whatever you consider in your surveillance strategy. Okay, now I think, okay, now we are going to the fourth part of this webinar. So we will start, I want to give the word to Maria Eugenia Suarez, and we will want to, in this space, to focus on reference projects under the development cooperation framework, which shows potential opportunities for collaboration and funding as well between different regions. In this case, for example, Europe and Latin America. So, Maria Eugenia, I give you the word and the control of the presentation as well.
Yes, thank you. I was going to ask for the permissions in order that all the assistants can see me and also to share the presentation.
Perfect. I will stop to share. And let's see if you can share. And if you cannot, we will.
No. And
no?
the camera, no.
I will. Hold 1 second. Yeah, I think you already can make a presenter.
Here I am.
We see it. We see you. We see you.
Things that can happen. Today, I don't know why, but the internet is going upside down. So I am praying that the internet will be stable during my presentation. Good morning, good evening, and good night, because I know that there are assistants from all over the world as members of WAITRO and also for another institution that we hope to join WAITRO in the near future. As Juliana said, I, Maria Eugenia Suarez, I am Deputy Manager of Institutional Relations in charge of International Cooperation in INTI. INTI is the National Institute of Industrial Technology from Argentina. I think that you are seeing my presentation. It's okay?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. First of all, thanks to Leitat and Juliana for the invitation. I work in international cooperations for more than 20 years, but I think that every day we can learn, because I learned a lot today through the Juliana presentation, and I take notes of some tips that I think that they are key tips to go on looking for different international resources for our institution. So in that case, in this sense, thank you twice. Well, let me introduce you very briefly about what is INTI. We are RTOs. We are a research and technological organization, but also we are public because we are a national institution that depends on the Ministry of Economy. We were created by law. We are an institution that have more than 65 years old. We have a federal representation, so we have offices or centers of research and development, that's how we call, in all the provinces of our country. We are a federal country, so as you can see in the map, there is one center of INTI in each provinces. I'm in Buenos Aires, in the headquarters, where there is more than 70% of the capabilities and the human resources. But well, we work for and to the industry. We, as the slide mentioned, we promote the generation and transfer of technological innovation to the national industry, giving through our federal network of laboratories, technical assistance, analytical services, testing, and also training to the different sector industry of our country, and also at regional level and in other countries. We are the National Institute of Metrology, and we work very hardly during these last years on the development and transfer of technology, especially in innovation, in order to provide solutions to the different technological challenges and problems that the industry have to face, and how to work with them in their innovation processes. We are more than 2,050 people all around the countries. We offer more than 5,000 industrial services, and also we have pilot plants that let us to work with the SMEs mainly, in order to develop the products in a pilot scale, and then they can scale up in their factories. These two numbers change every day because they are related to the projects in association with the SMEs in research and development. And well, we have several international cooperation projects with different fundings resources that Juliana also mentioned, and we have very several cases. But today, Juliana mentioned, I will focus on only one. But I wanted to, no, in that pass. So as I mentioned, we have research and development centers specialized in different industrial capabilities that are mentioned here, but you can see that they are according to the industrial sectors that our economy have, and we have been growing according to the different challenges of the industry. We have centers specialized in mechanics, in all related to foods, but during the last years we have some working groups in all the country related to renewable energy, Industry 4.0, micro and nanotechnology, and we try to work in multidisciplinary groups in order to give technical assistance to our industry. Well, focusing on especially in the issue of this workshop, I will mention which is the international cooperation strategy for our institute. I agree with Juliana that we need to define a strategy when we talk about international technical cooperation. And it's important to have a profile of the project, of what we want to do and why we need to associate with another organizations or university or different actors of our international system to to promote the transfer of knowledge and innovation, to work together in the development of new technology, and it's key to promote these alliances, not only with RTOs like INTI or like Leitat, also with another organization from the from the private files, because all in the case of INTI, all of our developments are transferred to the industry. That's why it's very important to work with them during all the process, in order that the knowledge that we generate at the final of the project is transferred to the SMEs. So how we work in international technical cooperation, where we have different strategies, different kinds of activities that are mentioned there, but I will want to focus in the different agencies, international agencies that we work. We, as Juliana mentioned, we also have some alerts, very homemade, to expect and to be looking for different calls that INTI can apply, not only in bilateral cooperation, as Juliana mentioned at the beginning. Also, we work in regional and triangular cooperation, trying to find the best practices in order to build and strengthen our capabilities. So we receive cooperation from IDB, from Japan JICA, the Japan International Cooperation Agency. We have cooperation with the European Union in the different instruments that the European Union has. In the European Union, they have also a website in which you can apply, and according to the keywords, you can receive some alerts of different calls. But I think that one of the keys when we are looking for different opportunities of cooperation is to have, as Juliana mentioned, I will mention you a lot, sorry, key partners mappings, and try to go to have every communication with the different organizations that we are linked, in order that when a call appear, not start from zero. That's very interesting to have a very profile of project between some institutions, in order that when the call appear, we can apply and have some time won in order to apply just in time. That's why we have this map, and we call the map of linkages all around the world, with different kinds of actors like INTI, but also with the university, other technical training institute. We try to keep in touch with them in order to have meetings, in order to find which are our common areas that we want to work, and after that look for the different financial resources that we can apply in order to achieve the goal that we propose. This is a map of intensity and the color, the blue more strong means that we have more activities with those countries. As you can see, with Latin America, all America, because we are in South America, and we have the similar industrial problems that we want to solve through the alliances with different actors all around the world. But also we have projects and different activities with most of the countries of Europe, Asia, Africa. We have been working in the last 6 years. And well, with Asia, we have a very strategic alliance through the Japanese International Agency of Cooperation. Well, in this time, I was Leitat expected for INTI to present these projects in particular. As we mentioned, as a type of technical cooperation, there is the triangular cooperations, where there are three parts. One country that receive the technical assistance, one country that give the technical assistance, and a third party that finance these activities. In this case, we worked during the last year in a window in the European Union called the window Adelante Dos. It was a program. It was a second call for the first triangular cooperation program of the European Union, in order to work together between institutions of Latin America and Europe, financed by European Union. Now, this call was last year. We know that this year was another call. We tried to apply to a new project, but well, it wasn't successful. It didn't pass the evaluation because the funds were very limited. But well, the idea of this program is to work in technical assistance, and as one of the words that Juliana mentioned, also in the generation of knowledge and transfer of cooperation. This is our projects, INTI from Argentina and CTA, that I think that will talk later, from Colombia were the first offerer. Leitat from Spain was the second offerer, and we work with the Ministry of Productivity of Industry, Commerce and SMEs from República Dominicana. It was a very interesting project, and as mentioned at the beginning or at the middle of my speech, we have already linkages with all of us, not only in the framework of WAITRO, but also we have some bilateral relations. That's why when the Adelante Dos was open, it was a very short period to present the proposal. And as we have already exchanges that we want to work together, what were our strengths to work together and how to share that knowledge and that experiences, it was very easy to formulate and apply for the project. And well, there was later process of formulation, but it was very easy to agree how we will carry out this project and which will be the role of each one. The initiative sought the promotion of digital transformation tools. We work in different areas, and each party, each entity have a different responsibility in those areas. In the case of digital transformation, the CTA from Colombia was in charge of that issue. Ecological transition and circular economy was in charge of Leitat, and innovation culture in organization and continuous improvement process was in charge of INTI. The idea of this project was to create knowledge between all the entities, and that's why we work in a model of diagnosis that was built through the three organizations and were implemented in SMEs from the República Dominicana. We work with 8 SMEs, but at the end of the project, we present the results of all these tools implemented in 4 of these SMEs, because the idea was to create knowledge together and how to transfer and prove this methodology built between all the parties in practical cases. That's why we work with the SMEs in Dominicana, and nowadays they are going on working with that, because one of the products was the elaboration of a guide of good practices in these issues that is one of the products of the project that we go on using in each of our countries. It was a project that lasts 9 months. As the instrument of technical cooperation finance, we have some visit our activities in the beneficiary countries. That's why we made some activities in Spain, in Colombia, in Dominicana, and also in Argentina. But also we have some trainings and workshops virtually. And well, we have a seminar in November of last year in Dominicana in order to sensibilize the SMEs of the country in this technology. And we finished the project last April with an international congress where we present the results of the implementation of these tools in the SMEs and the guide of good practices that we wrote between all the actors. Finish some conclusions on some good practices during this project. It seems very difficult to coordinate international initiatives between 4 actors, but as I mentioned at the beginning, when you have a previous relation, it's easier to carry out this kind of project because we know each other, we know our capabilities, and we know that we can complement us. Each institution is strong in different capabilities, and when we work together, when we adapt our tools and we are very generous in sharing the knowledge, the process is successful. That's one of our main strength of this kind of project. So each institution could afford their knowledge to build a knowledge. And I think that after this project, every professional of this institution have new capabilities to be transferred to our industry or another institution, because this is our different technological challenges that not only the SMEs have to achieve. It's only in the universities and in the national government also. And we are sure that the sustainability is guaranteed because, as I mentioned, we made a guide of good practices that now it's an instrument that we can use not only in Argentina, also in Colombia, also in Dominicana, and also in Spain to be transferred to the SMEs. And it's a product that was made between all the consortium. And well, we have some risks during the implementation because it's sometimes it's difficult to manage 4 different actors, but I think that everyone was very confident in this project. So the process was very good for all of us. And I think that now we are working in strengthening these results, not only as a consortium, also bilateral, because we are now trying to apply to different technical cooperation in different issues that weren't in the framework of this project, but going on in the implementation, we know that we have capabilities that we can share in another issues like bio-based products or in added value chains of suppliers. And well, now the challenge is to apply to another project to find out another international resources and go on working from the promote and the development on the industry at regional level, but also within strategic alliances with another institution that I think that we can work together in the framework of WAITRO. That's why it's key to have this meeting and exchange our experiences and know that we can associate, because when we work together, we are stronger. And in the case of our goal of this institution, to also give better solutions to the different technological challenges of our industry. That's all. I think I respect the time. But well, as Juliana say, any doubt, I will share, of course, this presentation, and we can go on the chat after the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria Eugenia. And okay, well, those experiences gonna be like really useful, because the conceptual and the theoretical part, it's important, but more than that, or complementary than that, the experience, it's definitely like super valuable. So thanks for sharing with us this. And okay, we keep this reference experience sharing. So hold 1 second. I'm just hold 1 second, please, because this go to the beginning. But I'm just wanted to introduce to Marta Liliana Marin. She's from a CTA. She's gonna hold 1 second, because now I want to make the proper presentation of our next speaker. Just that technology affairs. Hold 1 second, please. Okay, we're going with our second speaker. We're super grateful with her participation. So Liliana, I give you the word because she's gonna telling us and share with us the experience with the project Cap in View. So I give you the word, and thanks for being with us and share with us the experience of CTA.
Thank you, Juliana. Okay, so good afternoon, good evening, good morning for everyone, wherever you are. Just to share my screen with you, give me a sec. Okay.
I already stopped sharing, so
Yeah, I think I'm
okay, perfect. You're sharing.
It's loading. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you very much to Leitat and Maria Eugenia as well for also mention us. We actually work a lot with INTI. The CTA is a corporation, a center of science and technology corporation, private, from Colombia. And we are thrilled to be here and present this project, this joint project we developed with Leitat, which was for an institution, a public institution from Colombia. So first of all, I would like to share a little bit about the CTA. The CTA is, as you already know, is from Colombia, and we've been for 35 years working in science, technology, and innovation to promote it in the country, within the country, in the region of Antioquia. We are located in Medellin city. And we have been working with different type of actors of this STI system for a long time. We enable social appropriation of knowledge in STI, and we create from that knowledge agendas, plans, and public policies for towards sustainable development and transformation of territories. So in that sense, in that context, we were able to be part of this consortium alongside Leitat and co-formulate and present a proposal for the IDB and the institution, the Humboldt institution from Colombia. They were looking for, and this was an IDB. Actually, they promote the opportunity on IDB website, and the one that Juliana already showed in her presentation. And they were looking for an institution, a consortium, an actor with the knowledge and with very strong enough to be part of the new perspective, new creation of an agenda for the Humboldt institution. The Humboldt institution is a big research institution of Colombia, and is working for many years alongside the Ministry of Science of Colombia as well. And they are in the whole country, so they are pretty big. They were looking for a consultancy service to develop the strategic plan of the institution. It was like more focused on how to renovate the institutional plan, and in the sense of bring new or novel initiatives around biodiversity and bioeconomy. So this was like the context of the project and the proposal that we actually create. The funding description was, as I said before, the IDB had this opportunity on the website, and it's part of a cooperation that they created alongside the they signed with the institution, the Humboldt institution. They have this cooperation for 24 months, and it was based on 3 objectives that I'm going to share with you. Basically, and supporting with the main objective of supporting the institute, the Humboldt institution, in development of new capacities, innovative capacities around bioeconomy. So the 3 objectives where they have in this cooperation agreement, it was like the development of new capabilities or capacities in innovation, technological development in bioeconomy, identify main frictions in the environment conditions for the development of bioeconomy. And the third one, it was the design and elaborate an organizational transformation plan that expands the technological scope of the institute. And that's where we were basically, they put this offer, and this offer actually for an open offer and for all the people that they were like with the capacities to develop this objective. How we got enrolled? Well, the call from the bid was focused on the alliances between these people that were like proposing the project. We expressed our interest, and then before we expressed the interest, we got to Leitat and showed the call, and they actually replied to us saying they were interested in the project. So we expressed the interest. We actually they asked us for a profile team, an international consulting scope for all the experience we have doing consultancy and consulting activities in other parts of the world. Also, what kind of experience we had in bioeconomy and also in plans and policy agendas that actually the CTI had and has, experience in roadmaps and also experience in consortiums, right? So that's why I think, and we think the team that we're working in this proposal thought that we had the capability, the capacity, the skills to be selected, because we had the opportunity to be part of consortiums before with Leitat, and also with this kind of triple triangle cooperation way that Maria Eugenia explained before. So we were selected as the first place because we show all this experience, and then they ask us for a technical proposal. So that was basically the process. And the technical proposal was actually evaluated by the IDB and also the Humboldt Institute, both of them, because it's the type of the agreement they had. Why we think we were selected, as I said before, I think and this was very a lot like discussed with the team, because we noticed that both companies, both organizations, Leitat and the CTA, had a very extensive experience working together with other organizations from other parts of the world. So this is very important. The CTA has been working in STI for a long time and implementing this kind of projects for a long time in Colombia and also in other parts of the region. Also, we have working alongside companies and also communities at the same time. So that gave us the opportunity to be part of the selection process, right? There are other things that we think, for example, the experience in different topics around bioeconomy. We know the expert, and we knew the expert in this topic was the Humboldt institution, the Humboldt Institute, but we were able to connect the dots, right, and also to apply innovation in that knowledge they already had. Leitat was very strong in the benchmarking capabilities and capacities, and they knew how to, and they know how to apply, how bioeconomy is applied in other parts of the world. So that helped us that this consortium was very strategic in order to win this call and to be the most appropriate alliance for this call. So just to mention, and this is why CTA approached Leitat, and is because CTA has been connecting and doing relations for a long time around the world. We think this is the most important thing in order to be part of these big projects, to connect, to create trust. And the one that I'm showing on the screen are the all alliances and also networks that we are part of. So we participate in this kind of alliances and activities. We are always like taking part and also participating. We are also leading some networks at the moment. At the moment, we are there the focal point for WAITRO in Latin America and the Caribbean. So this has allowed us to also know and understand other contexts and also know potential alliances, and which is very important when you are presenting. And we know IDB, for example, appreciates a lot this kind of connections. So the team actually that the team we present, and this is very important when we are presenting this kind of proposals, was very multidisciplinary team, a variation of professionals and practitioners. It's very important when you are presenting this kind of proposals and technical proposals as well. It was the project already finished, and it was a very successful project. The IDB was very happy with the result, and also the Humboldt Institute. Sorry. Just to mention a little bit about the project and some details, we used different methodologies. The main one, and the one that we used for design the project, was successive approximations methodology, and this was the one that we use for designing the technical proposal. And also, in order to respond to all the deliverers, the products that the terms of reference were actually demanding, this methodology was very very useful, because we always were aware of what they were expecting, and how we can reflect upon the things we already done, right? So we were always reflecting on the products we were developing, and then creating the like an evaluation process at the same time. Meanwhile, we were creating all the products, because you don't deliver all the products in once. You are doing one by one, and sometimes two at the same time. So, as it's a big project and it's a big institution that you are consulting for, so you need to be very careful in doing connecting all the dots alongside the process. So yeah, we also use different methods and instruments in order to get these products that some of them were very, very complex, and understanding as well the complexion of the Humboldt institution as a big institution from Colombia that is working with public and private sectors at the same time, with big communities at the same time, different communities. So we were facing a challenge in order to understand the expectation of this new plan that the Humboldt Institute wanted, and also how can we come up with innovative ideas? How can we come up with an innovative plan? So in order to be able to got these products, we use a mix of methods and instruments, and actually the CTA is expert in this kind of things. So and also the Leitat put their part in all the knowledge in benchmarking as well. So it was a very helpful information that we got, and also all the conversations that we got around bioeconomy in order to create the plan. Backcasting, for example, was one of the activities that we used actually a lot with the people inside of the institute. And this is very important because we didn't do a consulting exercise like a normal traditional consulting exercise. This was a process where the institute, the Humboldt Institute, was always working alongside our team. So that makes the process very special. We actually, it's not a triangle cooperation process like this one, well, like the one that Maria Eugenia showed, but we try to make it something like that because the client in this case was very interested in be part of the process, and also because innovation, we were actually very interested in our technical proposal was focused on create transformation about from all these novel initiatives that in the plan that we were creating. So in order to create transformation, you need the people that is going to be like is going to do the transformation. So we created this alongside the Humboldt institution, and that's why it's very special, this project. Actually, this is one of the conclusions that we got from the whole process when we were talking about at the end of the project, when we were talking with the team. We said, okay, at the beginning they were asking for a consulting service, but it was not that traditional, you know. So I think, and also we think it's very important to be open in order to create transformation, and also to be innovative in this kind of calls and to be selected. We need to be open to new kind of ways to doing things. We also understood that the complementary capabilities between Leitat and the CTA, the multidisciplinary team that we come together with for this proposal and for the execution, allow us to give a higher value proposal. Definitely, this help us to be selected. The international partner is absolutely important, and this kind of projects, because they allow us to understand what is going on in other places, how can we apply those new knowledge here in our context. The co-creation process, it can be difficult because there are three parties. Maybe it was two parties because Leitat and CTA was just one team, but it can represent significant challenges because we think different, and we want to, and there are different styles of working. But if you have these methodologies in order, if you have like a focused team, you can make it. Maintaining the contact with those partners from all over the world may help you to identify potential opportunities, may help you also to understand what is important or relevant in other places of the world. So that will open the scope. And finally, building in relationships in relationships based on trust will help you to collaborate in a very high value projects. And this is something that WAITRO definitely have helped us. And that's why the CTA value a lot these spaces. For example, this kind of a space that we have today. This is just the end of the presentation of the project, but in order to connect a little bit with the things that we have done at the CTA for the region, and connect that last conclusion of this project, we have done, and also to expand the opportunities in collaboration processes, and also that other institutions and organizations from WAITRO can be part of this kind of projects. We, as the focal point for the region, we have developed for the last year a capacity building strategy based on our RTOs. We are at the moment more than 30 WAITRO members in the region, and we try to understand in the last year know each other more, understand our interest, and create from that information. We created a matrix and a matrix of interest, which has helped us to lead different activities and spaces. One of those, the one like we think it can have a lot of potential, is the matchmaking sessions that we have developed in the last months. We have done 3 matchmaking sessions so far, and we have done it and created, designed it based on the themes and the interest and all these capacities that the organizations have. We have selected 4 big topics, and from that we have started to build up some ideas for projects, consortiums based on some of the Horizon Europe opportunities. And this actually has helped us to understand a little bit more each other, how we work, how can we improve our work in the cooperation framework. So this is very valuable for our region, understanding that this is a place for WAITRO members. And we are actually creating the last session, matchmaking session, that we hope we can see you, all of you, and maybe start to connect more inter regions, you know, and be part of that process that will help us to strengthen our network and also help us to participate more in collaborative processes. So that's everything from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Marta, not just for sharing with us the experience and the key factors that may drive to a successful opportunity approach, and for your invitation as well. And I reinforce that invitation because it's important. It's like a call to action after we already check those elements, more theoretical, more from the Leitat experience. So I think it's a really interesting and like next step and call to action. I think that is at the end that it definitely worth it. So we invite you, all of you, to participate in this matchmaking. We will share with you more details when everything is like scheduled. So first we will go back for the last part of the session. Hold on a second that I have development back here. And the last part before we go, I don't know if we will still have time to go to the questions, but don't worry if we don't answer in this specific space the questions. Super commitment with if answer you by email or something like that, but we will try. Okay, so let's do that. I will invite you again after all we see to answer 2 specific questions. First of all, because actually I think that even can be like interesting to know this information to like toward the matchmaking session that Marta mentioned. So I invite you to go to the Mentimeter platform, please, and go. Let's make available and go to this specific question. I think you already can go and check this question. And if you cannot, let me know. But okay. You're supposed to be able to answer this. Which sector are interesting to your organization for potential opportunities under the development cooperation? And remember that we already checked. This is a cloud like exercise. You can with free text format. It's tell us which sectors are of your interesting of your organization interest. So okay. Okay, we already have, because I'm hiding the answers, but here in this specific, I will share with you. So we have food, industrial technologies, renewable energy, engineering, environment, innovation, health, sustainability. And we'll start to match areas, because as we said, now in a complex world as well as challenge, solutions are interrelated as well. So we will check. We have 4 answers. So we encourage you to answer these questions. Which strategic sectors you think? And we can say, okay, we already have another: agriculture, research and innovations. Yeah. Energy, water, food. Yeah, perfect. Textile, digitalization, perfect. Life science, interesting. Okay, and a lot of these sectorial interests like aligned to the agency's strategic areas. So that's a matching important, like in the source of funding and your capabilities areas. Sustainability, again, that is not like an isolated area. Now is something that it's across the whole sectors. So that's important. Food as well, food security, food production, environment. Okay, we have our cloud that is getting bigger and bigger. That's interesting. And we start to green energy. I like it. Life science, digitalization, energy. Perfect. Okay. Okay. I think we can go with the following and last question. I promise it's the last one. Which region, in terms of regions, or regions are interesting to explore potential opportunities under development cooperation for your organization? This is a ranking exercise. I mean, you don't have to choose one, because we understand that there's no one interesting area necessarily. Some organization can be like just focus on one, but we invite you like to make like the prioritization. I will. Okay, first Asia. We have Asia. Oh, Latin American. Latin America, you're okay. Because we have like just three questions. Actually, I should hide this, because that could be like not that good for the process. But let's do it like that. Yeah, Asia, United European Union countries in the second place, Latin America, North America, Africa. Let's make our sample bigger. We have 7 answers. Let's wait a little bit. I have confidence that we will have one more. Now the last one we had 7. So probably, oh wait. Perfect. European Union countries. Okay. Interesting. European, Asia, Latin America, Africa, North America, and non-European in the last position. It doesn't mean that it's not an interesting area. It's just that the interesting is focused more in the other regions. Perfect. Okay, no, so thanks for your participation. I think everything that you just answered is important to take into account for the next steps that we will take, because this is, again, we call is like a call to action. We want to make for that like a focus on something more dynamic and more active, because the invitation is that to go to take action. And again, Maria Eugenia and Marta, they gave us like really practical and on-field key elements to take into account. And I think that definitely worth it. And we have another invitation to continue in this way that I think that is really useful and valuable. So, okay, let me check some of the questions, because I found some really interesting. If you have another question, you can type it on the chat and I will definitely read it. So, will it be correct to consider WAITRO as one of the ecosystem coordinators? If so, how can this role be strengthened? I think it has definitely the potential. If we check the other actors that we already choose, or I'm gonna share with you that we share with you like coordinated actors, they have some specific development cooperations, like responsibilities or actions. So I think if WAITRO must have the capacity to be one of these actors. But let me check this, because some other like important roles are about financing, are like about guidance, like give guidelines about the development cooperation's opportunities. So I think it has like a potential to be that, because it integrates innovation and it's a platform that integrates and foster collaborations as well. So I think there's a potential to be one, definitely. We have another question. Okay, in Africa involved, collaborative. Okay, thanks you for all. I don't know if there's another question. There's a question from Matt. Can you just say 2 words about development cooperation framework? Matt, I don't understand the question. If you can specify that, we will definitely answer that question. I think I'm looking for more questions, but I think for now, I'm just gonna read some comments that I think are important to know, because they actually are from our speakers' interventions, so it's good to see that. Okay, INTI was very Maria Eugenia, for you. INTI was very active member of WAITRO about 20 years ago. Welcome back. Someone says that. Thank you for all your time, valuable in Africa, involved in the collaborative project. Specifically, how can I be involved in such project? Andrews. Andrew, I will share with you some information more specifically. If you want, type your email address, or actually I think I have it on the registration form. Thank you, Marta, Juliana, for sharing with us. Is the use of the development platform free? No, unfortunately, no. I think it's around 500 euros per year. Thank you, Andrew. If I miss some question, please don't hesitate to contact me. I will share with you by the email, the chat, my email address. But yeah, great presentation, Marta. Great presentation, Maria Eugenia, and nothing else. We're just on time, 10 minutes left. Actually, it was till 4:30, maximum till 5, but I think I take more time than the one that I thought I will take. But thanks, Marta and Maria Eugenia, for your presentations. Really useful. And again, we'll definitely invite you to the matchmaking session that Marta's comment, and this effort that they are doing, because it is like a step forward in this development cooperation opportunity sector. So definitely we invite you to join.
Thank
I
you,
don't know if-
Juliana. Thank you,
Okay, I don't know.
everyone.
Thank you,
Maria
everyone.
Eugenia, I don't know if you want to say something. Thanks. I don't
No, I
don't
will
have
send
to
you.
say. Mhm.
I will send you the presentation
Yeah.
because yes, I saw that one of the question if you will share the presentation, it's okay. I will send you, and it's open for everyone.
Definitely. I will centralize that, the presentations, to share with you, as well as a super brief survey of the webinar, because we want to enhance all the time. So we appreciate your time. We appreciate your attention, and thanks. I hope you enjoy and you take advantage of what you learn here, and you learn something here, and you take advantage of that. And any doubt, you can please contact me or contact us. Definitely.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you very much.
Bye. So have a nice
Bye.
rest of day. Bye bye.
Bye bye, everyone. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.